Recently, a client said something to me that really drove home the importance of having a will. She came in and she said, "I'm single, I'm not married, I do not have children, but I've worked really hard to save money, and I don't want that money going to just anybody. In fact, I don't want it going to my siblings. I think there might have been some strained relationships there. But she said, I also don't want it going to the government." So she had a plan in mind, but she wanted to make sure that her plan would be followed. She needed a will. I'm Patrick Cawley with Keystone Elder Law in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and the state has a plan for people, single people especially, if they die without a will. But you may not like the state's plan. Here's the state's plan for a single person who dies without a will. First, they look to the deceased single person's children, if there were any. If there were no children, the next in line, number 2, is any surviving parent of the deceased single person. So right now, if there are no children and no parents surviving a single person who passes away, then you go on and you look to siblings. So this is where my client would have had all of her hard-earned savings going to siblings that she did not want to receive the money. Let's say there were no siblings either. Then state law says that under the state's plan, you look to grandparents. Are there any surviving grandparents? If not, you go to number 5, aunts and uncles. If none of these people are there, if the single person passes away without any of these family members, then the money goes to the state government. And that was another part where the client was very clear. She did not want her hard-earned savings going to the state government. So this is the plan that the state sets out for single people if they pass away without a will. Ultimately, this client was able to identify nieces and nephews with whom she had a great relationship. They're much younger. So the money would be put to good use with education, with starting a business. Some people, single people, will identify really close friends. If they have pets, they might say, well, I want somebody to take care of my pet. That has to be identified in the will, and they want to leave a certain amount of money so that the pet is cared for in the transfer to a new home. Another thing to look out for is, what if you've identified people, but one of the people you identified to receive your hard-earned money has a disability, or has an addiction, or has money management problems, or is just simply too young to handle money, then you want to build trusts inside the will. The state's plan has no way of knowing all of these different ways that your plan might work out, so that just wouldn't happen. So all of these are reasons why a single person must have a will, or else you've seen how the state's plan plays out. And if you don't like that plan, you need to have your own. If I can help you with any of this, I'd be happy to do that. I can be found at KeystoneElderLaw.com.